Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to the first episode of the Boyos Discuss, the podcast where we pick a topic and then just shoot the shit about it. Today we'll be beginning our review of the Shrek franchise. I'm Matthew, and these are my co-hosts, Harlan. Say hi.
Hey, bud. How you guys doing?
Ross.
Happy to be here with y'all.
Hey, you're in my intro, guy. I'm Ross.
And Ryan.
Hey, how y'all doing today?
Alright, so I figured we could just start this off by talking about what everyone's memories were. This is kind of like, there's a few movies in like every generation where everyone, I feel like, saw them. Like, for some people it's Star Wars, whereas now it's like, you'll talk to just as many people, I feel, who haven't seen Star Wars as who have. Whereas for us, like, I feel like Shrek is kind of one of those movies where it's like, everyone who was in like our graduating classes saw it in theaters. It was like a big deal, like all the marketing kind of fed into that. So I guess I just want to know what y'all's memories were as far as like going back to when you were a kid. Like, did y'all see it in theaters or what? So,
I guess I'll start. I don't really remember seeing it in theaters because it came out in like 2001, so I was
Little
3.
baby.
I'm a little baby boy, so So I don't think I saw it in theaters, but I do remember watching the crap out of it on DVD, and that there were some pretty fond memories there.
Yeah, for me, kind of the same. Like, I didn't have something standing out to me when I watched it the first time or first few times, I guess. So there's nothing I can point to like, oh, that was one of the first times I saw Shrek, But like at this point, I've seen it so many times it just kind of blends together, and definitely not in a bad way.
Yeah, I would have to agree with that because like, it's one of those movies where I actually didn't see it in theaters. I got to see it and owned it on DVD. I think it was actually one of those DVDs where we were able to get it free or something. I think I actually picked it out of my accidentally stole it from church kind of deal, one of those movies. So like, or maybe it was from the library, and we just watched it so many times, over and over and over again. It was like a summer worth of just the summer of Shrek, and we also had Shrek 2, but like,
But Shrek
when I watched it, it was just like over and over and over again. It was incredible, and it would always, for me, it would always like start to glitch right around when Shrek and Donkey would get to the castle.
Oh,
and
yeah.
then we would skip the like beginning sequence where like Donkey is about to get into the fight with the dragon, and it was
it wasn't much of a fight. It was more
Fight,
like a sexual encounter.
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh.
So that was kind of how that
Yeah.
went, and oh my gosh, I just love that movie. It
Yeah.
was kindergarten movie of the year every year. So
Yeah.
It's still kindergarten movie of the year for me.
yeah.
you know what? I think I actually even had Shrek on the Game Boy.
Oh,
It was
hell
one of
yeah.
those where we had
Dude,
it
I
on
had
the
that.
cartridge.
Oh my
The Game Boy
gosh,
movie?
yeah.
The Game
yeah.
Boy cartridge for Shrek. It was like
The
incredible.
big square ones.
It was actually pretty
Yeah,
good.
Yeah.
I mean,
it was
probably
the
wouldn't
portable
be
DVD
today,
player.
but played the hell out
Oh
of it
man.
back then. Well, Matthew, let's hear yours.
So, since I'm like the grandpa of the group,
By 1 year.
yeah, by 1 year, we did see it in theater. I don't remember like my reaction to it, but what I do remember is we went to visit my cousins in Iowa, and we would always do like an everybody's birthday type deal since we didn't get to see them very often. So they would give us like toys all at once. They'd be like, "Oh yeah," and I got these like Shrek toys, and eventually we got the movie on DVD. And like Harlan, we watched it like every day. Like whenever we would go on road trips, we had a portable DVD player, and that was one of the ones that we would just always watch on trips. And we did watch it to the point that it got so beat up that whenever the Fiona fight, when she's fighting Robin Hood, it would like glitch through that.
Oh,
And
that's my
so we
favorite.
would always
Yeah.
miss the fight.
Yeah.
And I was like, damn, dude, I want to see that shit. But yeah, so that's
And that's
kind of
like
my
so. It's so ubiquitous, like through everybody's experience, where they have like that with Shrek. Like it's just
Yeah.
like everybody has that. Just like it was at church camps and like on the bus and like
Yeah.
everywhere. Shrek was like the perfect movie where
it touched everything. It hit every like bullet for as far as like either making fun of everybody or like making everybody laugh. It hit everything. It seemed like at the time.
Yeah.
And they slipped in all the adult jokes, like where I mean, I back then I had no idea what was going on, you know. And I'm sure it made it to where the adults didn't want to kill themselves when we asked to watch it for the 1,000th time.
Right.
So,
well, that's why
they did a damn good job.
That's why it's so much fun to watch it now as well. Like, yeah. Well, and one of the things of trivia that I had read on IMDb was when they were making it, there was pushback on the adult jokes that they were gonna do, and eventually they were like, no, like this has to work as like a parody of like fairy tale movies. We can't just do it like a straight fairy tale movie, and it's like it worked out in the end because it's really fucking funny. But yeah,
and I think that part. Well, this is getting into the later part of the conversation a little bit, but I think them kind of keeping it fun and that level of humor is just what made it last so long. Like, I would call it a classic.
Oh yeah, for sure. I think I'd agree.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be one of the classics of animation. It's like
definitely.
It's like the golden, like the Renaissance shortly after the Disney Renaissance, like where they had their golden age of animation.
It won Best Animated Picture the year it came out, which I don't remember what the other films were that were up against it, but it was like a Pixar movie and something else.
And I mean, Pixar's always on point, so that's I think
it was Finding Nemo. It beat Finding Nemo.
Oh damn, yeah,
that's impressive.
It's like that's fucking insane.
I mean, it's Shrek, man.
Yeah,
I know.
True.
I mean, this goes in. Well, we'll get to it in a second, but the only thing I would say is like it's one of those movies because of the animation style and what we know about computers at the time. I think it's one of those movies, and there's a few in that category that. I mean, Shrek's different from the other ones as far as, like, this was a really good movie. The other ones would be the live-action Scooby-Doos, which we don't have to talk about. But the big deal about all of these movies were...
I would love to talk about those.
No, not now.
Not now.
We'll get there.
But what I was saying is the big thing about all those movies were, say what you will about the writing, was how well they animated everything and they paved a lot of things because it was the first time they were trying things, and the tech guys and the directors and everybody are like, we don't know if this is going to work. And it worked really well for them, and it paid off for Shrek, obviously, because there's like 5 of these things.
That is something that I would... Oh, go ahead.
I was going to say, I think it really helped that, like, they didn't make it too realistic looking. Like, there's some characters who are like... like I'd say Fiona is probably the most realistic looking person, but like everyone else is kind of quirky enough that it's like it still has kind of stood the test of time because like you just accept it, I guess.
Yeah,
I would 100% agree with that. And there was a movie that came out shortly after. I think it was in 2004 where that Hoodwinked movie came out.
Oh yeah.
And I would say that they had like similar animation styles where it was just kind of like that. Sort of aesthetic where it was like bigger eyes, just kind of like, cuter animation. But like Hoodwinked looks like almost like MS Paint style like animation now compared to Shrek, and like Shrek just like really well, like
water.
It aged well. Yeah. No, Hoodwinked, you put it on, it's rough.
Yeah, and there are some points where I would really say that like Shrek did have some stiff animations, like parts of the scene where they're like, especially where there's more characters in the shot.
Yeah.
Like parts of the fight scene where they're. Go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say, like, on the fight scene, like, I obviously it's one of the top scenes because it's so fun and awesome. But the animation there's not much around Duloc. They don't have a whole lot going on in Duloc. It's kind of an empty castle for the most part, even in the fight scene when they have like set up this whole scene there. It's
you know what? I think that's by intention.
Well, I think that it's because they doubled down on the Duloc kids scene. Like, I mean, it's a hilarious scene, but like they put everything they had right there.
Here, Matthew, since we're basically into topic 5, you want to read it out real quick?
Hang on, let me open that up. Okay, so topic 5. Let's see. Okay, so thoughts on the movie seeing it now. Is it actually good, or is it just so bad that it's good? What do y'all think?
Oh.
I think we're all kind of in the hell yeah, it's actually good.
Yeah.
Oh
yeah.
yeah,
I
I think that this
agree.
movie is actually really good. Like,
just to like give like credit outside the group, because like to be honest, like I don't know, like I can only speak for myself truly, but I feel like all of us might be a touch blinded by nostalgia, so it's hard to give a legitimate answer. But like I talked to some older people in my life who were around when I was a kid watching it, or like had kids at the time, and they said like the greatest thing about those movies is like we were talking about the adult writing that's in it that you don't pick up on when you're a kid, but when you watch it today, you're like, holy crap, that they got away with that. So
Yeah.
Dude, yeah, there's a bunch of good stuff like that. Like I wrote down quite a few examples just because I was like, it's very impressive that there's so much stuff, and it's like when I was a kid, I don't know any of that shit. Like when Shrek just saved Fiona, and he's like, well, I have to save my ass. And he's talking about Donkey, of course, because Donkey's still in there trying to get, like, hit on by the dragon and all that mess. And then, of course, the wipe your shoes, wipe your face, you know?
Right.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be ass, again. They
Well,
like
like,
ass jokes.
Dragon was eating ass before it was cool, you know? Like, that was
Dude,
2001.
Uh-huh.
Like, she came out and just gave Shrek a big old smooch right on that tushy, that dumpy. Like, it was great. Like, just the highlight of the movie
Dragon's
right
my
there.
role model.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, like, really, I would say that this movie's withstood the test of time, and like further, and you know what? It's really interesting because if you look back and really think about the number of movies that were CG animated and really do look halfway decent today, it's very small. Like,
True.
most of the movies that you think about were hand drawn, like Aladdin or Beauty and the Beast. But Shrek is like completely CG. It's pretty incredible how
And like
they
start you off strong with those opening credits too.
Oh yeah.
Like they're so goofy and wacky and fun. It's like they don't even do it with just the writing. It's like the CGI guys, whoever the hell they were, the artists, they made it like they started off on a 10 out of 10 note, and it just kept going.
To go to
it was
the
really
intro, originally they weren't gonna have All Star by Smash Mouth. That was just like a placeholder that they used.
Really?
Yeah.
And it's like, my God, that movie, like, part of what makes it so iconic is the Smash Mouth songs.
Well,
you know?
honestly, the whole soundtrack.
That would have been so different. I feel like.
Yeah. Not the same movie at all, I think.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and on your point, Ryan, for sure, they have great songs, and it's not just like the songs that they're playing, like All Star, or I forget what they play during the fight scene, but it's like an actual song, but and it's a good one. But when like Robin Hood is out there and he's like, "Oh Mary Moon" and all that shit, and then Fiona singing her breakfast song to the bird and she explodes his ass. It's all good.
Did she know she was gonna kill the bird?
I think so. Man.
I think she went out with that plan.
That's fucked.
Oh, definitely.
Oh yeah, I think but like how
I
funny.
never noticed that, but then like this past time I watched it, like she immediately is like, "Oh shit, I'm gonna get this fucking bird's egg." It's like, dude, what?
Yeah, she wanted the eggs, man. She knew what she was doing.
Yeah.
And speaking of, like, right after that scene, back to the adult jokes, when she's cooking the eggs up, and Donkey's sleep talking, and he's like, "Yeah, you know I like that. Oh, come on, baby. I said I like it." It's like, thank you, Eddie. Thank you. National treasure. You're right, man.
Yeah, the voice acting in that was just like really incredible and quite iconic. Like Mike Myers, he also did Austin Powers, and seeing him from that to doing Shrek, it was both like the UK Scottish accent, but it was like so different. You wouldn't, if someone told you that, it's hard to believe almost to me.
Wait, that's the same guy?
Yeah.
You just said it's hard to believe, but like for real, oh my god.
I don't know if I don't know if y'all read through the trivia, but Michael Myers, he originally did it with his own voice, and then he was like, "No, I want to try it this way," and he tried it with a Scottish accent, and it cost I guess it's Paramount $5 million to change the voice.
Really?
Interesting.
Nuts. Like,
Yeah. So it's like I'm one of the. I feel like I'm in the minority, but I don't like Michael Myers. But
Mike Myers, you mean?
yeah,
Michael
whatever.
Myers is the horror.
I mean, I don't really like Michael Myers either.
Michael Myers is a pretty bad dude.
Yeah, no, Mike Myers is pretty. I just think I just think he's overrated.
What?
I do.
I mean,
I do.
he's
I do.
relatively funny, but it's
Yeah.
mostly that goofy kind of a little
Yeah.
too slapstick for sure.
I
Like,
think it's like-
what's it called?
I don't know.
Master of Disguise. That's the one.
That's Dana Carvey. Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
Master of Disguise. Yeah.
Mike Myers is the guy who goes like, "Say hello to my little friend." Wait, no, that's the main character.
it's Dana
dude,
Carvey.
I'm on something, I guess.
They both like the thing is a lot of these actors were like all on SNL. Like Eddie Murphy, he was on SNL. Mike Myers, he was on
Yeah.
SNL. The actor who they originally
Good
wanted to
point.
play Shrek, it was Chris Farley.
Yeah.
He was on SNL as well, but he passed away
He
during
regrettably
the production
passed
of
away.
the movie. And
Oh my
for a
God.
while, they had recorded like pretty much everything. And for a while, they wanted Chris Farley's brother to kind of fill the gap and do the rest of the lines because they sounded pretty alike. But his brother in the end was like, no, I don't really feel comfortable doing that.
Yeah.
And so they just kind of let it simmer for a few years. And then they were like, okay, they tossed around having Nick Cage as Shrek.
Oh yeah.
But he
Oh,
turned
God.
the role
He
down.
turned. Yeah.
Thank you, Jesus.
Thank God.
I think have you guys seen his new Netflix show, The History of Cuss Words?
I have
Hey
not.
man, don't date the podcast.
It's funny. I mean, we're talking
Oh,
about
that's
Shrek,
weird.
so I think they all have an idea of how old we are. So
But
Well-
that would have been. I don't think that would have been as memorable. Just
no, I feel like Chris Farley is a great like what if because that guy was hilarious.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Mhm.
Well, I think that all of these would have been great what if. Like, what if, it was Chris Farley? What if Chris Farley's brother had continued to do the lines? Or, what if Mike Meyer did his, regular voice instead? And I think that if any of these things had happened, it wouldn't have made the movie what it is today.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah, you
it
totally
would've
agree.
changed
You're
it.
right.
Like
there,
it's
yeah.
a masterpiece, and since it is, I wouldn't
Masterpiece.
want to go back and change anything about it.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, it really is like kind of this perfect storm of like everything, because the way Eddie Murphy and Mike Meyer play off of each other and their voice acting, I would really say is something that is incredible.
Well, and that's what's
And
so
then-
cool about it is they did not play off of each other. They recorded everything on their own.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah,
That's
you
one of
know
the
what?
Right,
bits
yeah.
of
That's-
trivia. Yeah.
That's so weird. That's the one bit of your trivia that I read, and I still, when I was jumping a little bit forward to why it's so memeable, like that's one of the reasons I said it's so memeable is because like it just the characters, especially Mike Myers and Eddie Murphy, riffing back and forth, going like saying their stuff, but they're not even doing it.
Yeah.
They're not even talking to each other. It's kind of strange.
One, it speaks volumes to how great they are as comedians, I guess, and that
Uh-huh.
they're able
Well, I think
to
part-
act off of like nothing really.
And the writing too.
Yeah.
I
Mhm.
guess.
Yeah.
Like
Well, I
it's
think it
all
was
like
designed-
really high quality.
I think it was designed specifically because both of them are comedians, and both of them do have that taste of like being able to do the stand up. And with them being able to record it separately, made both of them be able to end the lines with that nice, quick, witty humor that Shrek is so well known for.
And
Like,
kind of
the
do
way
their
that-
own thing.
Well, like the way that Donkey and Shrek kind of like, meme on each other, or like, oh yeah, you're sleeping outside, or like, the way I
In the
can't think
morning,
of it, like,
I'm making
exactly.
waffles.
Yeah, things like that, where
Yeah.
it's almost like it's
Crazy one-liners.
Yeah, good
it's-
one-liners, and it's
Mhm.
throughout the entire movie. The entire movie, it's so memeable because of all the one-liners. It's like
Yeah.
Naked Gun in that sense.
And
Like
and
the way
even
that it's just like iconic.
and even when they're not one-liners, when it's like a conversation between them, it's almost like they're one-liners just back and forth
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
it's recorded like that.
One, I don't
Yeah,
know,
it's
like,
really, really well done.
one thing that I do want to give them credit for as well is, like, there's a few moments in this that are kind of, like, they pull on your heartstrings a bit, and it works.
Yeah.
Like, the part, where he's just talking to Donkey, like, it starts off with just the onion thing, and that's kind of like the introduction to this idea that maybe Shrek is, maybe a little more of a deeper character than he lets on. And
Yeah.
then
Just
later
a
on, the
monster.
whole thing with them, him kind of overhearing Donkey and Fiona talking and kind of misunderstanding what they're talking about. And
Yeah.
Well, even before that, to where Fiona's sleeping the first time, I think, and they're looking out at the stars, and Donkey's
Yeah.
trying to get him to talk and open up, and he
Yeah.
finally does, and he's like, well, because people always assume shit about me before they even know me,
Yeah.
just because of how he looks. And one, that's just a great, like, message
Thing
for
in
kids
general.
to learn, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's like, especially when you're young, it's like, oh man, dude, I'm feeling for this guy right now.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
go ahead.
No, I was gonna change topics if we're done with this part.
Oh, I actually wanted to say something that was like something I hadn't really noticed, but I thought it was really great that Bella pointed out. And it may have been like natural, or it may have been like, just the way it is. But, Shrek builds everything in his own swamp house and everything.
Yeah.
And something that Bella noticed was that he had built 2 chairs.
Oh.
Oh,
Yeah, and he's sitting there at the dinner table, and he's sitting there and he's looking across the table, and that empty chair is there, and he's just thinking about Fiona, where once he like overhears her talking about who could love such a hideous monster, and like he's on the verge of tears, and then it's playing the sad song, and he had built that chair, and all of these like the character development
Damn.
and the growth of Shrek from going from like that would ever happen, finding true love and everything, and then growing into this character who does have love and like has this growth is something that's incredibly unique for film and children's film in particular, honestly.
Oh, definitely.
Dude, your
it
wife
was
is
so
a genius.
well done.
And,
Yeah.
and also when speaking to the depth, like I've seen this so many times I could not possibly count, but I hadn't ever noticed that. And there's still like things when I go back and watch it where it's like, oh, that's new, or maybe I had seen it before but I hadn't really noticed it or thought about it in my of it. And it's like so much more to than one would think. And especially as you're saying for a kids movie, it's like they did a really damn good job and it is high quality, but I think it's like the opposite of a perfect storm of all this good ass stuff coming together, and we just got so fortunate to grow up with a movie like this, man.
Right.
I don't know, it's
Right.
awesome.
Yeah. Well, I was just gonna say, do you think Shrek would have the cult following it does if it wasn't for that really weird video, the Shrek is Love, Shrek is Life, that came out in like 2013 that just kind of, as weird as it sounds, to me it seemed like that like breathed life into Shrek, because like everybody started talking about it again and all this weird stuff started going on with it.
I actually don't think so. And I don't think so primarily because Shrek had 5 movies.
Right.
It was an instant hit. Like, Shrek wasn't something that was just kind of like swept under the rug, kind of like cult following kind of deal that pops up. It was
came up later or
huge.
anything.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Everybody has that memory of, having that summer of loving Shrek. And I think that's mostly what Shrek is Love, Shrek is Life spawned from, and not the opposite.
Yeah. And like Shrek is Love, Shrek is Life is like, okay, it's weird as shit, but it's like, it's pretty funny, it's a good ass meme. But that's just another thing coming from like so many people love this movie and were attached to it that that many people could relate to this weird ass meme and think it's hilarious. and two, the person, I don't know, you get enough people watching this good shit, and then one weird fucker is gonna, excuse my French, one weird person is gonna, like, I don't know, make some shit like that. It's gonna happen. Too many people watch the movie. It's too good.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, there's weirder things on the internet.
Yeah, that's
Come
true.
on, Shrek is pretty tame compared to what is TV art. You know, like, what is there? There's some like Shadow and Shrek baby kind of deal stuff.
Jesus.
So
I mean, we don't have to get too weird with it, you know.
the
my
fan
God.
fiction, and I think that's also part of it. Shrek kind of made it so that like with the crossover between Fiona, Fiona as human Fiona, and then Fiona as ogre Fiona, kind of gave her that like persona aspect almost. And I think that also appealed to people who had gotten exposed to the Sonic furry frenzy kind of deal. So,
Don't talk about that. Is this because of Sonic Boom?
Yeah. So I do think that may have had something to do with it.
I think another thing is the like one of the talking points I had was like they had really fucking weird products that were
Oh
like,
my
tied in
God.
with Shrek.
Yes.
Like
So I just want to put this in there real quick. Is one of the most scandalous ones because like you sent the thing earlier, so I was reading through it, and one of the most scandalous products they had were McDonald's had a line of
oh my God, yes,
lead.
the
They had
McFlurry.
glasses. No, it was glasses. And to paint them, they used lead-based paint, and they had to recall
shit.
12 million toxic Shrek cups.
Holy shit, that's bad.
Jesus, right.
I know.
That's probably why I'm like so slow now, dude. I went to go to get some Happy Meals and chewed on some ogre shirts, and it rotted my brain.
Ryan, what you said is much worse than what I looked up and what I found. I found the McFlurry that was the mint ogre load. It's literally called ogre load, dude. Like, okay, with the green filled Twinkies, like the Twinkies with the green filling and the Shrek waffles with green syrup, like I like those are some cum jokes waiting to happen, right? But ogre load, they literally called it ogre load, man. It's like kids don't want Shrek's cum, man. Stay away from that.
But Ross, that goes straight. That's a straight salute to the whole movie because kids are like, "Give me that overload," and the parents are like, "Wow, they did this." So it's
it's the
perfect.
marketing is perfect. Yeah.
It scares me though, man.
Oh, without a doubt.
Like I like Shrek, but ogre load. You talked about Shrek is love, Shrek is life. It makes me kind of think of that, man.
It's
like,
perfect.
I don't want to go anywhere near that.
I like Shrek. Kill me.
Yeah.
It's the only way.
Well, and then I think the worst one is I'll send y'all a picture of this and I might put it on the screen. There's like Shrek Nikes. Shrek heads on them.
No.
I'll send that to y'all in the group chat.
Dude, I didn't look that up, but
dude,
I mean a Shrek Air Force One sound. I don't know. That sounds kind of dope. To be honest,
wait till you see
that's some fucking drip right there.
Because they have fucking Shrek heads.
Shrek Nikes.
I'm gonna have to see it because what I looked up is just like Shrek color themed.
Yeah,
Nikes.
I sent it in the group chat. They got they got the Shrek head on it, like a hood ornament.
Oh my God! What the fuck? Why?
I don't know.
Dude, I'd wear those.
Icky.
I mean,
yucky.
Okay, so the ones I'm seeing,
I would have been the coolest kid.
The ones I'm seeing is just people removed the like creepy ass Shrek heads.
Yeah.
And they're just wearing the shoes.
Those just make it better. They make you run faster.
That's horrifying.
They give you ogre strength.
Yeah, they give you the ogre strength, dude.
Yeah.
The ogre
okay,
mode,
I was
dude.
watching like Shrek just toss Donkey up in the air like it was nothing, and I was just like, "Oh my God!" Let's say Donkey is a light donkey and is only 300 pounds. He's
That's
just
a light
tossing
donkey.
him up into the air like it's nothing. Oh
Dude,
my
Shrek fucking
god!
lifts, dude.
Yo, he
I
works.
know.
Yeah.
And then okay, so when
He's a big
Fiona
boy.
turned into like ogre Fiona, and she has all of that formal training from her kung fu stuff,
Dude,
he's like
that's scary.
an unstoppable force.
Uh-huh.
Like Shrek must be like little pee pee in his pants when he sees her, because she would just make him his like a total bitch. Like she'd fuck him up.
Dude, maybe he's into that. I don't know.
Maybe he is. Maybe he's
Hey.
a.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe
I'd
he's
be
a
into
bottom.
that.
He's a bottom.
Yeah, that's chill.
That's why it took him so long to find love.
Did you know
Yeah.
Shrek actually means sub in Greek?
Huh.
That's
It
what
means
that is.
sub.
Ah,
Yeah, like submissive. That's what Shrek means.
ah.
Where did you learn that? What made you look that up?
I'm kidding.
Shrek in
I'm
Greek.
kidding. It's not true. It's
Okay, all right.
Okay.
You
Well-
always believe everything you say, or at least sound like it. So
You
I
sound
can't tell,
like it.
man.
Yeah. I guess the last thing, as far as products go, like this isn't the worst by any means. It's just funny, and that's the plug and play.
Oh yeah.
yeah.
I got that at like a Goodwill, I think.
Oh, really?
Really,
Okay.
you have
Did it?
one?
Yeah.
Did it work?
Oh yeah, it works. Yeah.
Okay.
It's just the games are awful because it's like
Yeah.
mini golf. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Dude, that's not the last one though. The one that I think was actually good and was food, even though I said to stay away from food marketing for Shrek. The kid cuisine with the Shrek shaped
Oh, yeah.
chicken nuggets, dude.
Yeah.
That's a
Yeah.
home run. 10
Yeah.
out of
Those
10
were good.
idea.
I like those.
Like, who doesn't want to
They
eat
were
Shrek's
very
face?
those.
He looking
Yeah.
tasty. He looking like a snack, you know?
Yeah.
All right. So I guess
Uh.
the next thing I wanted to talk about was like prior to this, DreamWorks like they had done one CG movie and that was Ants, and that met with weird critical reception. But before this, you had like Prince of Egypt, and you had The Road to El Dorado. Do y'all
Yeah.
think that like I don't know, because it's like there's an alternate timeline somewhere where they didn't do Shrek, and they just like Ants was so unsuccessful that they were like, fuck, I guess we got to go back to like the 2D animation and do that. Would that have been better, do you think? Because like
Oh,
the
that's.
past-
I
It
don't
went down
know.
instead.
I
Oh
think
my
around
goodness.
that point, like a lot of animated movies were turning into kind of this three-dimensional thing, and Shrek was a hit. And also, like, I didn't know exactly what came after it, but I'm looking it up, and I mean it's not perfect, but like Madagascar was good as shit. You
yeah.
know?
Madagascar,
Kung Fu Panda.
Kung Fu Panda,
like-
Shark Tale.
Hey, I actually really like Shark
that's
Tale. Like,
Um,
it's
God.
kind of garbage, but that one's all nostalgia. For
I
me.
mean, this one. I mean,
It
one of my favorite movies ever is Horse Spirit, and that was a good one. And then Flushed Away, that was a solid one.
yeah.
That
Like,
was a
yeah,
shit. That was
they weren't
a
all
shit
hits,
movie.
but,
No.
Which one?
No.
Which one?
Fucking
one?
Flushed Away. Let me
Because
tell you,
because it's a toilet.
DreamWorks is very hit or miss. They
Uh-huh.
are not a good studio, and like what's really great about DreamWorks is that they don't have that like Pixar goggles where people have it, where it's just like, oh my god, it's Pixar, it's the best thing
Yeah,
ever.
everyone's
No matter
good.
what, let me just suck it off. No, like DreamWorks has some bad movies, but they
That's
also
a
have
very
some
good
fucking
point.
bangers. Like
Right.
like Matthew said, Prince of Egypt, Joseph,
Mm.
Technicolor Dreamcoat.
Well,
Even
I-
if you're not religious, please watch them. If you
Dude,
were
yeah.
Christian and you did not watch these movies, please watch them.
If you're
even if you
anyone,
don't believe
please
in
watch
God,
The Prince of
they are
Egypt. It's just a wonderful story.
Good.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the animation is good. Like it is.
The Road
it is
to El
so
Dorado,
well
dude,
done.
with that Pocahontas ass, I'm telling you.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it is
Did you guys
very
ever watch
very well done.
Inspired
Yeah.
many a boy's sexuality.
But
You ever see Sinbad, Legend of the?
That
what
movie
is it?
sucks. I'm
I,
sorry.
Yeah,
I
that
never
was a
saw
bad
it.
movie.
So-
Legend of the
I
Seven
didn't see it.
Seas.
I saw that in theater, and it had like a Baskin Robbins tie-in, and that was
Oh,
it. Like
bro,
it didn't
that's
have any
cool.
other merchandising besides that. So it's like
Disgusting.
you can kind of tell when a movie's not going to do well when
Yeah.
it's just like, oh, they're tied in with that.
It also
Yeah.
had great hits like Megamind and Over the Hedge.
This is Dream.
Yeah,
is that
so,
Over the
like-
Hedge?
Yeah. Yeah.
Over the Hedge
Uh-huh.
sucked.
Over the Hedge.
Over the
sucked.
Hedge really sucked.
Yeah, I don't know what you're
Megamind
talking
is
about,
fine.
Ryan. Over the Hedge. is
Megamind's
garbage.
like Megamind was
Oh
actually
wait,
really
they did
good.
How to Train Your Dragon too.
Yes, and those
Yeah,
are very
yeah.
very well regarded.
Oh,
No,
those
I've
guys.
not
I mean,
How to Train Your
any of
Dragon
those.
was mid.
I know,
The
people
first
love
one
There's
was
like
really
6
good.
of those. Those are so good.
The first one was really
Okay.
good, and then after that, I didn't like the story so much, but the art in them was phenomenal.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's kind of what I've heard. Yes.
So you know how like Disney has
Such a
the thing
pretty
where
movie.
it's like they put out the second version, or like this, like Pocahontas 2, Mulan 2, and it always
Yeah.
blows compared to the
Uh-huh.
first one.
Yeah, Disney can't make a sequel.
Yeah, so I feel like DreamWorks, like they came out, it's like they do that, and they come out with their
I
sequel.
don't-
The
I don't
sequel's
know,
pretty
man.
good, and then afterwards,
What?
it's just so much worse. Like they put like third, fourth,
Oh, you mean the
fifth
immediate
movie,
sequel?
Yeah.
and they don't
Yeah.
stop.
Yeah.
They
The
just don't
second
stop
one, yeah,
putting out
I
the
agree.
movies.
No,
What
they're
else?
gonna squeeze every drop out of every movie they make.
Mhm.
If there's money there, they're gonna push it for everything
Well,
they
dude,
got.
we live in the U.S., so
Yeah,
I'll at least
That's
give
kinda
them
how it
credit
goes.
though for like theatrically releasing them. Whereas like Disney, anytime they do a sequel, it's like, oh yeah, we'll just put it out on VHS or whatever.
Straight
and
to
it's like,
video.
we
or
know it's
Disney
shit,
Channel.
but people are gonna buy it anyways because it has fucking
Yeah.
Aladdin on it.
yeah.
That type of deal. But yeah, so at least they have the confidence to be like, yeah, we're gonna actually put a lot of money behind this and not just give it to some company in like Russia to do. But
Right. I mean, I guess my final verdict is I like the direction DreamWorks went. I'm a huge fan of 2D, and I would like that to come back, but it probably won't because it's really hard to do that. But
it's really fucking
Yeah,
expensive.
it's too much.
Yeah.
It's too expensive.
yeah, yeah. So I'm not holding my breath, but I
But
think
at-
Shrek set a good
It
precedent.
was a good
and
turning point.
It's
for them.
good.
It,
Yeah, I
it was a
think they
good
did a good
start
job.
for their 3D. I don't know, go. But at least
No,
we
they
did get
did
the
Ants
Prince of
first.
Egypt and a Road to El Dorado. Well,
Yeah.
yeah, I know, but fuck ants, you know.
Yeah. Well,
And I
actually,
guess
I think
and
Chicken
Road to
Run
El
was
Dorado
also
was-
first. But
hold
you know,
on a minute.
I would say
think-
Chicken Run was claymation,
oh,
I don't
which
think
is
that was
what they
DreamWorks
should have
either.
continued to do.
No, that
What?
was,
yeah, but then we
Nah.
wouldn't have
Chicken
got
Run
Shrek,
was
dude.
Aardman,
What?
right? Or whoever, the fucking Wallace and Gromit people.
Yeah, that's who Chicken
Uh,
Run was.
But that's not DreamWorks.
It's under the
Yeah.
Dream.
Oh, okay.
They were they co-produced it. They didn't animate
okay.
it.
All right.
Yeah.
I like
Uh,
Chicken Run as well, though. That's another one of those like 2000s like had it on VHS and watched it a shit
Dude,
ton
that one
movies,
just
like,
scared the shit
Oh
out of me.
yeah.
It's scary.
That
but,
one
like,
scared me so much.
Yeah.
Like maybe I was
Well,
a
like,
little pansy
yeah.
kid, which probably but still.
I mean, it's
Chicken
dark.
Run. That lady's face is so
Mrs.
spooky,
Tweedy.
and it's about murdering these guys.
Yeah.
Like
yeah.
when you think about them as chickens now, it's like okay, that's not that scary. But the character, it's on it, and they're getting
You're cutting
I
out
didn't-
Russ a little bit.
like it. Anyways,
Yeah.
is there more
dude, I
trivia
totally
we should
get that.
cover?
Nah, that was
just
all the trivia I
Give
had.
me one moment if you
Okay.
don't mind. I'm
Okay,
looking
we'll
something
we'll
up real
keep
quick.
we'll keep talking.
We'll fill the air.
Alright.
So fuck
Yeah, but
ants, by the way.
Dude, well, no, and like Ants, it's such a weird thing because like that was their first 3D animated movie, but the cast is like insane. They have I think it's Sylvester Stallone is like the big brawny ant guy.
Woody Allen,
Yeah, Woody
Sharon
Allen.
Stone,
dude.
Jennifer Lopez, Sylvester Stallone, Christopher Walken,
Yeah, it's fucking insane.
Dan-
It had
Dan
the all-star
Aykroyd or whatever
cast.
the hell.
Dude, it's so
Well, like-
weird.
Dude, yeah, they had a lot of good
It is
people in
so
that
weird.
actually.
Like
You know,
oh, you can go.
go ahead.
I was gonna say my biggest memory of Ants is there's this part because like the whole thing is it's kind of this like Starship Troopers type of vibe where it's like dystopian world where like the military class is in charge, but then they go to fight
Yeah.
the fucking what are they what are those the termites? They go to fight the termites in that like wood thing.
Oh, I remember
And
that.
all the ants are like, they're anthropomorphic, they look normal. But the fucking termites are like huge monsters and they're like, it turns into like a horror movie almost. Where
Yeah.
they're getting like torn apart and shit. And
Yeah.
then like the battle is done and they just like barely kill all the termites. and the main character, he's like, he had been talking to this other soldier ant, and he's like, "Oh, dude, we both made it out together." And the other one, you think he's buried underground, and
Is he dead?
he's like, no. So
No,
it's
head.
just,
Okay.
It's just his
he's
head.
just like, "Hey, man," and he lifts his fucking head up, and he's still talking. He's like, "How's it look?" And he's like, "Oh, you know," and he's like dusting his head off. He's like, "I think you'll be fine." And it's like, dude, it's this.
That's
fucking
like Saving
head.
Private Ryan for kids, bro.
It's fucking
No, that's
nuts.
what that
That's
was.
horrible.
What it is. It's crazy. Like,
Yeah,
And I
that
just
movie-
looked up a picture of the termites. Oh my god, why
I know it's
did they
fucking
do that?
scary. Like,
I like that. Why?
Because they wanted you to like hate the termites.
Bugs Life was so
You know-
much better.
is
Oh.
it though? I don't know. That's
I don't
one of
know.
those movies that's like, I don't know.
Well,
It's
I
just
don't know.
seven-
It's been a
Personally,
while, but I
prefer
have
the
fond
Ant
memories.
Oh,
Oh,
that
yeah.
movie. That movie's
Ant Bully's
awful.
good.
No,
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
The top.
yeah.
that's like one of those. That and like Monster House. Those are the movies
Oh.
that they'd like show all the damn time on.
On
Dude,
Cartoon
I
Network.
watched
Yeah.
Monster House so many
yeah.
times.
Mhm.
Oh my god.
Oh, I love
that
Monster
That one was
House.
kind of
I'll
creepy
still
too.
watch it.
That one was interesting, but that one was like the lady's body was just entombed in the basement or something,
Yeah.
right?
Well, like, what's
yeah,
interesting
that was
about
terrifying.
yeah.
well, what's cool
Why
about
did they
Monster
try to
House?
scare the shit out of us so much, man?
Well, what's
What's
cool about
wrong with
Monster
these
House
people?
is it was made by like you know how Adam Sandler made like Grown Ups and Grown Ups 2? It's like those same groups of people made Monster House. Like if you look at the cast for it,
Really?
it's like Kevin or not Kevin. Is it Kevin James? I know
Are you
Steve
sure?
Buscemi. Yeah,
Oh,
yeah, like Steve Buscemi's in it, and
yeah. I
Kevin-
think he's the.
so
Yeah, Steve
he-
Buscemi
he's-
is like the old dude, right? Who
yeah,
owns the house?
Yeah.
Mr. Nevercracker.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I was just like, I was watching it once and I like saw the end credits and I was actually reading through it and I was like, holy shit, okay. So
What
No,
were
when
you
I was
looking
gonna-
up? Yeah.
I was gonna see because like I read something that made me like be like, wait a minute, and it was when did production start on Shrek, because it started in like 1998, and
I
but
thought it
production
started like way earlier, right?
it was 98 or
Really?
96.
I think it was 96.
Okay.
I
Dude, they
just
started
remember
working
reading-
on it when I was born. Just for me.
Yeah.
Thanks, Shrek.
Just for you.
Just for
dude.
me.
And but like that's what I was looking up, and then but I was looking at the when did production start on Ants, and Ants started in '96 as well. So I was like, look, that's a little fun thing to know.
Yeah. So I
That's
guess
because they
maybe
put Ants
learned
out in
from...
2 years.
Yeah.
And Shrek, they gave 5.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's
But also,
like,
you know, Ants just sucks.
yeah.
Anyways.
Well, I guess the only other thing I really want to talk about is like the weird because you know the other movies are popular, like the other Shrek movies were popular, but this one like there's a Broadway musical adaptation. There's
Ugh.
like fans completely remade it on YouTube.
Oh
like,
yeah.
and did,
Oh,
like, a
yeah, that
scene
was
by scene.
crazy.
That was really cool to watch.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
It's just crazy that like of all of them, this is the one. Whereas like we'll get into this next week, but I think this is the second best of the Shrek movies, which is maybe a controversial statement, but
That,
Actually, I
No.
agree. I actually
No.
do think that
you think
Yeah.
Shrek 2's the best one?
Oh,
we'll
Shrek
get there.
2's the
We'll get there
goat.
next week. But
I don't know. I'll have to. I mean, I love Puss in Boots. He's a cute
Oh,
little
Jesus.
motherfucker, but
Ah.
I'll have
We'll
to
get
watch
there.
it again.
I think
didn't
that
watch
I
that
think
one
that
nearly
part of
as
the
much.
reason. Well, Matthew, to touch on your point a bit, like what you said, it was like how how this has the Broadway musical and everything. Spider-Man also has the Broadway musical,
it
but
did.
Spider-Man's Broadway musical is like the origin story. And this
People
is
die
Shrek's
on that
origin
musical.
That's a good point.
story.
Yeah. And
I
Ryan's
think
right.
that's
People
part
did
of it.
die on doing that musical. Yeah.
I mean, people die all the time. I mean,
Well,
On stage.
Wait, no, in real life, people died
Yeah.
for that
Yeah,
musical?
people died
Oh,
doing the
shit.
Spider-Man musical.
Wait, why?
Because, like, it's
Like
Spider-Man
falling
flying
or something?
around, and he, like,
oh my
they-
god.
yeah.
That's
Yeah.
horrible.
it was
Yeah.
an accident.
Yeah, it's still
I mean,
scary.
yeah.
Crazy. Yeah.
But
It's
dang.
all in the pursuit of art.
Word.
It sure
Word.
is.
Am I right?
Yeah.
10 out of 5 would do it
I
again.
think Shrek is so well known because I need to rewatch Shrek 2, but the arc of Shrek 1, it's not a very long movie, but the arc of Shrek is relatively simple, but it's to the point, and it's like it's simple, but it works the way it's simple. You know, it's not like they cut out too much to simplify it. They have the perfect like story set, and there are plenty of different scenes, but it's like you get kind of everything you want with it. I think Shrek 2 is a little more complex. I don't know.
Well,
Again,
I think
I'm gonna have to
Shrek is
rewatch
also.
it.
I think part of the reason why Shrek is so popular is because it has that, what is it in Japanese, the Kawaii Style. You know, don't you think Shrek is pretty kawaii? Like with those little like ear nubs and everything.
What are you talking about?
I mean, kawaii means cute, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, kawaii means
cute.
cute in Japanese. But like, real talk, I do think part of the reason why Shrek took off so much was because of the specific style that they chose for Shrek. Like Shrek is cute. Like his ears, and he's like a cute ogre.
Dude,
I think it's
He's disgusting though. He fucking pulls his earwax out and uses it as a fucking candle.
I think
it's still cute.
It's a combination of the music and the writing. I think that do it because it's it's like we were talking about earlier. The music is iconic. Like Smash Mouth did crazy things for that movie. And honestly, like you think about it, like if you have a good soundtrack, it can make the movie. Like Tarzan is like a shell of what it could be if it wasn't for Phil Collins.
Yeah.
And
yeah, for sure.
And the writing is just crazy because again, it hits every facet of age and background that you can think of, and everybody has a good time with it. And I think that's why
I'm telling you, perfect storm. We got lucky with Shrek, man.
We did.
All right. Anyone have any final thoughts that they want to get out there? Or
for anybody in the group who doesn't want to spend money on Shrek and has cable, or potential listener, well, never mind, just people in the
cable
group.
Is money.
Yeah. Well, I'm assuming you have access to it. It's going to be on TNT on the 30th. On TNT. So
Ryan,
you need to mooch off my Hulu. Do you need to mooch
Ryan,
off my Hulu or something like?
You're literally putting a date on the podcast.
Yeah,
That's
you're dating the
Like,
podcast, brother.
literally.
I'm helping.
I
said the 30th. I didn't say the month. I just said the 30th. Or the year.
I mean, that's fair. That's fair.
Ryan, how is that helpful?
I don't.
Like,
really,
You know what? I try to be nice, and this is what happens.
You're worthless. All right. Let's go to step 9, Matthew.
All right,
or 10, I guess.
So, next week we're gonna be doing Shrek 2, so y'all got to do your homework.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So, is there anything that anyone wants to plug? Any Twitch channels, YouTube channels, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, MySpace?
If you want to get to know the Boyos better, go like and subscribe to Hey Ocarina. That's
5 E's.
5 E's. Ocarina.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where this is going to be posted to.
Yeah.
I don't ever use my Instagram, so it's not going to be very interesting, and I don't think we're going to have any listeners. But if any of the future listeners want to follow me, I guess you can do that. It's Ross B. Edwards or Ross Bedwards. You know, that's me. I'm in the bed. And that's all we got. Harlan?
Nice.
Yeah. So, pardon me. Yeah, so I'm streaming sporadically at El Harlito at elharlito.twitch.tv, and
I don't think that's how that works.
what isn't it El Harlito?
It's twitch.tv/El Harlito, wouldn't it be?
Yeah, twitch.tv/El Harlito.
Bro, I gotta plug your own pluggables.
Yeah.
I mean, every once in a while I'm popping on there. I guess DM me if you ever want to see something specific. I'm more than happy to hop on. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the podcast. And if you guys want us to watch something specific, I guess.
Put it in the comments.
Yeah. Till next time, may your endings
Alrighty.
always be happy.